Welcome in, everybody, to another post-game live edition of 410 Sports Talk. I'm James Haskell, along with my co-host Glenn Martin and DK in the background. Baltimore Ravens get their third straight road win. I can't help but smile.
Yes,
Typical
sir.
Ravens fashion, though. Had it going down to the wire, but it just is what it is. It's kind of not as indicative of how good the team is or isn't, because that's generally how the Ravens do things, whether having a really good year or a really bad year.
Yep.
But we won the game nonetheless. What was the final score? 27-19, correct?
You got it. Yep.
And we're here to talk about it. So
Yes,
we'll dig right into it. Glenn, how are you doing? Feeling
Doing
okay after
well.
that game?
Yep, feeling good. I mean, like you said, it got a little dicey at the end, but the Ravens still were able to win, by 8. I thought it was interesting call by the Vikings to go for 2 when they could have easily kicked 2 extra points and tied the game. Again, analytics poking their head into the football world and telling them to go for 2, but ultimately didn't matter. They didn't end up having to get it, but they would have had they scored a last-second touchdown. But yeah, Ravens did their thing today. We knew it wasn't going to be easy on the offensive side with how aggressive they play on defense, but I thought the defense took another step in the right direction and played pretty well today.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, ultimately they gave up 19 points and committed what we had 3 interceptions?
Yeah.
Or 3 interceptions.
Yeah. Or
2
interceptions.
Should have been 3.
And then the fumble on the kickoff.
So look, the defense is doing their thing as far as I'm not saying they're world beaters, but they seem to have settled down, is I think the way that I would describe it right now. And I think it's made as much of a difference. They talked about during the game, as much of a difference, obviously, it has made of Lamar Jackson coming back. He kind of does good for every part of this team. Look, in the last 3 weeks, our defense, even though we lost, right? Like we gave up 17 to the Rams, 16 to the Bears, 6 to the Dolphins, and 19 to the Vikings. So we haven't given up over 20 points since that terrible Texans loss. That's something. That's something, man.
And look, people I saw when they were putting those stats out on X and all, people were going, well, let's look at their opponent, the Bears, the Dolphins, and the Vikings. Okay, well, let's see what the Dolphins have done in the game before we played them. They destroyed the Falcons, and what they do the game after, they hung 30 on Buffalo and beat the hell out of them. And then let's look at what the Bears have been doing. The game after we played, first of all, 3 games leading up to it, they were averaging 35 points a game. The game after, they put up 47 against the worst defense in football in the Bengals. And what they do today, they went out there and absolutely balled. So, and the same, the Vikings team, like, oh, it's just the Vikings offense. Okay, that's the same Vikings offense that went into Detroit last week, hung 27 on them and beat them. So let's kind of reevaluate what this defense is doing. I think they're playing a lot better than people on social media are giving them credit for.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like, Glenn, tell me what the NFL, AFC looks like right now. I mean, I think that Chiefs are still the odds-on favorites to win to come out of the AFC, and they're not even in the playoff picture technically right now. Like, if it ended today, so all of this, one just like you outlined. I mean, it's so hard to tell right now, and you can only play who's on your schedule. So, look, I know we lost to the Rams, but without Lamar Jackson, that's a good offense that we only gave up 17 to. So ultimately, I guess what I'm trying to say is the defense, just like you said, Glenn, has made another step in the right direction. It seems to have settled into something that is sustainable, that is not just losing us football games. And I think that was our ask at the end of the day.
Yeah. Just give us something to build on. Ravens O's Nation says a win is a win. Yes, it is. Also, Chargers, please, I'm begging you. Yes. I mean, look, we wanted the Colts to come through for us last week. They disappointed, but man, did they have a bounce back this Jonathan Taylor. Oh my God, you're a freak show. But yeah, hopefully the Chargers, or as we call it, Ravens West, can do us a big favor today, big solid, and pull off the win over the Steelers. Blue Eli says defense definitely made their presence known. I still think Rowe had an interception, but I'm happy with another road victory. Now let's lock down Dylan Gabriel. Yeah. What do you think about that interception? I mean, I know the ball can touch the ground as long as it doesn't aid in the interception.
Do you think it aided?
I don't think it
did. It didn't move that much, right? But I also see how he put his weight, he trapped it.
But I wouldn't say it helped him maintain the possession. That was one of those
just the ground happened to be there, right?
Exactly. But it was
just
great
happened
play
to be
by
there. But either
Roquan,
way,
though.
if he was midair, he's making that catch.
Yeah, and I didn't think it was a great game by Roquan. I mean, especially when you compare what he'd done the last two. I think he was where was he at on our tackle list? He was third today in tackling, which, by the way, Nate Wiggins, you never want to be the first overall. You don't want to be leading tackler as a cornerback. And we'll talk about he had an up and down day to me, and we'll certainly get into it. But yeah, I mean, great third win in a row, and anytime you can get a road victory in the NFL, that's big time.
Yeah, ultimately though, he the stat line for Justin Jefferson wasn't great.
On 12 targets, I mean,
4 catches, I think 37 yards or something.
Yeah, we're about to pull that up here.
Yeah, while you do that, Tyler Brooks says, love the picture, by the way. Shout out to Omar. I love the actions Todd has on offense to not let our liabilities be singled out. I'd love if Lamar designed runs Derek's non-block subbed out for justice, but good win on to Cleveland. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like a lot of the wrinkles that he's throwing in there.
Yeah.
I liked seeing Lamar getting back to some design runs. I think that really what that means is that he's feeling healthy. I don't think that sometimes I feel like we get in the camp that like, and I think I do this myself. When I say we, I mean Ravens fans. Like Lamar doesn't want to run anymore. I don't think that. I think he's concerned about it. The hamstring was an issue.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a sign that he's just feeling good.
Yeah, I think that he's 100% healthy, or they wouldn't be calling those plays. But also, it was necessary in a lot of ways. This aggressive defense. But to Tyler's point, shout out to nephew, they did a lot to try and help our offensive line with this super aggressive and talented front seven. Like, we knew that they were going to be coming out hot. They're super talented. They got a great mix of big, strong guys and smaller, fast guys. They use them well. So I think they did a really good job. Falele still had moments where he drove me crazy. Same with Rosengarten. And we knew the twists and stunts were coming, and they got through occasionally. But I think Todd did a really good job of trying to mitigate some of that aggression. And yeah, the offense was able to move the ball to a pretty nice degree. Ian says, gutsy win, guys. God, they make us sweat. Yes, they do. Defense is definitely better. Our offense is hot and cold at the moment. Just need to figure it out. On to the next. Yeah, they do. But look, that's a good defense. And when healthy, which they were for only, I think, the second game or third game all year where they had all their key guys out there, and the Ravens still on the road in a long travel put up 27 points on them. And part of that was, of course, clock killing. So they could have probably done more had they kept their foot on the gas. But yeah, good offensive performance nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Ian Wicks, while he pulled them stats, Ian Wicks says,
that's the one I just read.
Oh my gosh. DK, I swear I just saw you switch it to a new one. I swear it went from yellow to green. Oh my gosh. J-Life, shout out. If you got a comment, J-Life, that you want to add in, if DK happens to see it on the side, you don't need to like put in a super chat twice. I know sometimes people accidentally do that. Yeah. But let's get into the stats. Look, wasn't Lamar's, you want to talk offense first? Yeah, I mean, that's what you have. But wasn't Lamar's best day in the office? 17 for 29. Could you imagine if it was 7 for 29? Like I was about to say, 17 for 29, 176 yards, 1 touchdown. So, I mean, Lamar's performance, I don't know. I guess the way I would describe it, he did what he had to do.
Yeah.
We got the job done. Ultimately, this was a team victory in a lot of ways. All three phases really did their part today. Derrick Henry, 20 carries, 75 yards, a 14-yard long. I got to give Derrick Henry some credit here on this performance because he just stayed with it. This is typical Derrick Henry. I'm not surprised, but just stayed with it. Lamar put 36 on the ground and 9 carries. Keaton Mitchell had a few explosive ones, of course. Had the long of 22, 4 carries, 31 yards. I think you and I would agree. We'd like to see a little bit more of him. In moments. And then DK, J-Live just had a message on the side real quick. If you want to, let me see if I can find it. Actually, I'll find it here. I got it. So, there we go. I wanted to say that Keaton versus Henry as a starter needs to be a conversation.
Let's not go that far, Jay.
Yeah. I think what we were talking about, like, you might need to sprinkle Keaton in a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, it might be, the food might be a little light on salt or something, but like, let's put a little bit more seasoning on there or whatever. But no, certainly sorry, J-Life. I mean, I think that Keaton needs to get the ball more, but Derrick Henry is still the bell cow here.
He's here to compliment him, and he's a perfect compliment for 100%. Derrick Henry. But he's certainly not going to be taking over the starting role. But good to see Pat Ricard get the ball and not fumble.
He's officially a panda. When he rolled and he was like laying on his back, just rolling around, he looked like, if anybody's been to the Washington, D.C. Zoo and like seen the pandas, this is their whole life.
Yeah. Typically with a piece of bamboo in their
That's
hand,
right.
chewing on
16
it.
hours a day, baby.
That's it. Man, it must be nice. And then Justice Hill breaking the hearts of all Ravens fantasy owners. 1 carry, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. Gets the only one on the ground for the Ravens. But shout out to him for, I thought, I think we're going to see less. It's likely we'll see less of Justice Hill going forward. I thought this game would be the one we'd see more of him because of the aggressive nature of the Vikings defense and his pass blocking being kind of his specialty on the offensive side. But even still, Keaton Mitchell eating into those carries, and I'm glad to see it because, man, Keaton Mitchell's a heck of a player and a really nice change of pace for this offense. Zay Flowers gets back to, when Lamar plays, he typically has a lot of activity in the game. He goes 4 catches, 75 yards, by far our leading receiver on the day. Charlie Kohler gets 1 impressive 23-yard grab where he's rumbling, stumbling, and knocking guys over. Isaiah Likely had a bad drop early. A few bad drops early by our tight ends. Him and Mark Andrews had a couple bad ones.
Same drive back to back.
Yeah, and then Bateman had that terrible drop, but ended up bouncing back on the next play and getting it close for the Justice Hill touchdown. DeAndre, what did he get, poked in the eye or something on that catch?
I was trying to figure out what that was as well. That's what it seemed like.
Yeah, something with his face. He was grabbing his face. I'm going to guess he got poked in the eye.
It was either that or some of the turf pellets came up in his eyes.
That's a good point, too. Those things are bothersome. Mark Andrews does have the touchdown grab on 3 catches for 14 yards. Rashad did also have the 2-point conversion, so you got to give him credit where it's due there, and then had the 10-yard catch to get him to 1.
I think the offense would have had a better day. Like you said, Glenn, we had some tough catches. I mean, some tough drops, the back-to-back by the tight ends. I know that Mark's would have been really difficult, but we've seen Mark do that before. Likely's was terrible. But I also felt like Rashad could have made that touchdown, that catch in the back end zone. Now, ultimately, I think if I'm not mistaken, that was when Mark scored on the next play, I think, right?
It didn't hurt us, But no, Bateman, the next play got it to the 1, and then Justice scored.
Oh, that's what it was, right?
It went right back to Bateman. So you got, it didn't end up hurting us, but damn, man, you never know. You got to make every play you can.
And ultimately, I was really concerned when we came out leading the half, right? 12-10?
Yes.
Is that what it was coming
10-9,
out? 10-9,
I think it was at half. Then we scored
and made it 12-10.
Put it to 12-10 short in the third quarter.
Oh my gosh, this is not, we don't have a 2000s Raven defense here. We cannot be kicking field goals. Don C. B. Moore says, we needed that win, especially on the road. Defense stepped up. Wish the offense, defense, and special teams could be great in the same game. It's funny how that works, right, Don? I mean, that it would be a perfect game. But the least likely of the 3-legged stool in, that being the offense to have a poor game seems to have done so today. Yeah.
But, good enough to get the win. And look, we look at the Vikings here. J.J. McCarthy kind of looked like a rookie out there. 20 of 42, 248. So that's impressive. Did have a couple long catches or long passes to Naylor. 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Was only sacked once. So that's the part, to me, that's the most worrisome part. This is a rookie susceptible to, holding the ball kind of long and getting sacked even when they're not blitzing, at least what we've seen now in his 4th start. And yet the Ravens were only able to get 1 sack on the board where essentially he ran right into the waiting arm of Travis Jones where, he kind of brought that on himself. That's the part that has me most worried coming out of this game when it comes to the defensive side is we still weren't able to really influence the passer a ton, even though he's a rookie starting behind an offensive line that I wouldn't consider great.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you there. I was sitting there just saying to myself, no pressure. Like, how many Mississippis am I going to get through here on my fingers while I'm watching the television before he has to let go of the football? And to your point, I mean, think about playing Allen. Think about playing Justin Herbert. Think about playing Patrick Mahomes. I mean, the list goes on, and that becomes a totally different situation. Tone the Virgo says the 4th and 10 play where McCarthy somehow escaped, got the pass off.
Gosh. Yeah.
Gave me bad Andy Dalton memories. Yeah.
Now, thank goodness it ended up not nothing happened. But yeah, I'm with you. Like he kept getting out of some situations where I thought the Ravens were going to be able to get him on the ground, but ultimately only got 1 sack for just 3 yards. Let's see here. JJ also added 5 carries for 48 yards. Now, again, Ravens impressive to shut down the run game. I mean, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason are no slouches, and so to hold them both under 50 yards. I think is saying something for this Ravens defense that is at least getting better at that. And if you can get better, if you can at least stop the run, then you at least have the makings of a decent defense. D D-Trot12 says, annoyed they quickly overturned Roquan's interception, but they didn't even take a second look at Naylor's touchdown. He bobbled the ball after his feet were down.
That's what I thought too.
Replay assist around the league has been suspect. I mean, I thought that was more on Nate Wiggins. I was very disappointed in
he
Nate
gave up on it, right?
Yeah,
it seemed like that.
It's like he didn't expect the ball to be thrown his way, so he just kind of didn't play it. And then I don't know if he thought he stepped out, and that's why but it looked like he gave up on the play.
Yeah, what does assuming do, Glenn?
Yeah, it's certainly not a good look. I thought Naylor had a great game, though. I got to give him a bit of credit. Obviously, Jefferson on 12 targets had 4 catches for 37 yards, looked frustrated all day, fell down on the Marlin interception by getting his feet tangled up. I thought the Ravens did a great job on him and really on Addison as well. But Naylor, they have 3 good receivers, and Naylor had a big game today for sure.
Yeah, had a big game, but to your point, Glenn, to both of your points, I thought it was an iffy catch, but it was odd that Wiggins just kind of gave up on it, right?
Yeah, and I thought he was having a pretty good game, although I hated that shoulder tackle he tried to make.
Jordan Addison, right?
Yeah, bruh, this ain't college. That shit don't work in this league. You got to wrap. You don't come in with just a left shoulder and expect to get a guy down, especially when you're Nate Wiggins, who weighs what, $160.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be real here. But did a great job on TJ Hawkinson. Just 2 catches, 8 yards. Got to give him credit there. Thielen, I don't know if I've ever seen Thielen so fired up as he was when he got called for that crackback block on Hamilton. I don't know if I've seen Hamilton so fired up after he got up. Like, he was pissed.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is the perfect example of generational differences. There's no other way to explain it, right? Like, this is a decade difference in age playing 2 different games.
Yeah, Thielen's from the old school.
He's what, 35, 36?
Yeah, Adam Thielen is? He's getting up there.
And I don't even think Kyle Hamilton's 25 yet. If he is, he's only 25.
Yeah.
And we're playing 2 different rule books here, right?
Yeah, no doubt. And he was pissed. Oh my goodness.
But the rules are the rules, whether I tend to shade towards the roughing the passer against Lamar. I like that they called it because you got to protect him. You got to protect him.
I would have been pissed if I was a Vikings
100%.
fan.
It's also a hard one for me to watch and say, dang, how would I feel if this were the other way around?
Yeah, that was picture perfect tackling for 80 years in the NFL. Yeah. And now it's a 15-yard penalty to put us in a much better position to make the field goal. But yeah, I mean, so let's get onto the defense. Okay, here we go. Gene says, hope defense forces turnovers and slash plays like this against good teams. Well, see, that's the part that I'm worried about because, again, 1 sack for just 3 yards. Yeah, I'm happy that they've seemingly turned a corner with their run defense, but I just don't know if that's going to get it done against the upper echelon players. But then again, I mean, who is the upper echelon teams right now? I mean, the Bills are seemingly nosediving, got their doors blown off by a Dolphins team that was fire sailing at the deadline. And the Chiefs just got beat by that same Bills team. So it's kind of like, I mean, I guess the Broncos right now are the studs, but they just seem to barely win. It doesn't seem like they're really winning in impressive fashion. Now they're winning a ton of games, but they're winning games 10-7. So it's like, now they have a hell of a defense. I think that's just, you can't even argue that, but makes you wonder if their offense is good enough to kind of carry them where they want to go.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. The AFC is just something weird right now.
Yeah, super goofy.
It's begging for a true leader of the pack. And everyone keeps taking the head of the peloton and then falling back and then doing the same thing and then falling back. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Travis says the truth, says, I don't think that PI, that was a PI on 3rd and Rowe was robbed the interception. The PI, is he talking about the one on Roquan?
I think he's talking about the one on Jefferson, right? On the left sideline?
Okay.
Awuzie? Yeah, the one on Jefferson, right? Yeah, because Jefferson leaned back in to create contact to then hopefully push off. And then after he did, he lifted his arms, and of course their arms got a little tangled up. He initiated the contact. Playing cornerback in the NFL is so freaking tough, bro.
They need to, and it's funny because I love DeAndre Hopkins, but this is DeAndre Hopkins' move.
That is true. That is a fact. That is a fact.
But the thing I would say is, and especially since he's gotten older, he is like the sweep through in basketball.
Yeah, exactly. You're so right.
That right? Like, if you're going to engage, you have to live with the results at some point.
Yep.
Like, I'm okay letting you play through it and calling no offensive or defensive, but you got to play through it, or you got to call something on the offense. You can't just engage and then not live with the results when they're negative towards you.
Yep. Yeah, I don't like when they reward the person who initiated the
Exactly.
contact. That's what I don't like, and they
Right.
certainly
Because
did
you
on that
asked for
play.
this.
Yeah.
This is what you wanted. Now, don't be upset if you get beat at your own game. Like,
yep. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Travis there. I thought that was a suspect call. Ian says Jackson on special teams is awesome every week. Oh, yeah. Or not Keon. I'm thinking Keon Martin. What's his first name? But you're right. I mean, makes a bunch of great plays. I believe he was the one who forced the fumble, or certainly was involved in the fumble. And then that other one, I mean, 3 different guys fumbled for the Vikings on that one that they ended up getting back. That was hilarious. Like that was wild,
one, dude.
Yeah, that was wild. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the Ravens special teams was terrible for the first 6 games of the season. Terrible. They couldn't cover. They were kicking balls out of bounds left and right. Tyler Hoot was terrible. But as of late, they've been really good, and now creating turnovers is all that you could really hope for your special teams.
Yeah, man. It was wild.
There it is, Keandre.
Yeah, it was wild. We almost got 2 in a row there. Doomgoy says, turnovers, baby. Turnovers. D played. Too good for it to have been that close. JJ McCarthy is Temu Far. I don't even know if he's Temu Far. Was it personnel on D's fault the whole time? So look, I think I'm all right. I was trying to figure out what's up.
T Suggs said, stop blaming the coaches.
Yeah, I saw that. My thought going into this game, and I feel like I've been validated by the defense's performance today, was at the beginning of the season, I know we thought a lot of our defense, right? And certainly our secondary is taking a step back.
Yeah.
But is it possible that our defense can end up being close to what we were expecting it to be with the moves that we've made, in that with the safety Gilman that we got, Kyle is so disruptive these days.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, what's the word? Is it unquantifiable? Is that the proper? It is unquantifiable. Gosh, that feels wrong.
It's like Lamar on offense. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a perfect comparison. Like, I mean, it's just wild. So is it possible, Glenn, that with him, with Draymond, who knows what we get out of Lawson eventually, but is it possible that we get there, that we are maybe an above average defense by the end of this season?
I wonder if KVN is kind of starting to, I don't want to say fall off or reveal, but it's like we're not getting that production that we got last year out of KVN. And without that, I just don't know how and the frustrating thing is, of course, we said it in the preview show, we said it in last week's show, that it's tough to watch Clowney doing what he's doing over in Dallas. Like that's not easy to watch. And there's other guys, that were like, God, Campbell, Calais Campbell, although it looked like his was more of a family situation, why he chose to leave. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, Jimbo. I think our defense is getting back to what we kind of hoped for from a run stopping standpoint, but I didn't think our pass rush would be this bad. Now, I thought we'd have Metabike for the whole season, which is definitely a big reason why we're not where we were last year. But I'm nervous, man, about our pass rush when it comes to playoff time.
Yeah, I feel you. Gosh dang, I was hoping. But look, Draymond showed some stuff today.
Yeah, for sure. And in just his first game here.
Yeah, and CJ, is it Lavender? Yeah, is that okay? CJ Lavender says Draymond Jones making a huge impact out the gate.
Yeah.
Mike Green and Starks are coming into their own. Is it me or is Father Time getting to King Henry? Mitchell needs to be more involved. This is a loaded question. I'll try and get through this. So I was just about to say, yeah, I think Draymond made some plays. And I do think, Mike Green had a big play at the line of scrimmage, tackle for loss there. And I do think he's coming around Starks, obviously, with second interception in a row. So he's continued to gain confidence and feel more comfortable in the defense. I do think we'll get more out of Draymond. I do think we'll get more out of Mike Green. So I think there's a possibility here. But I don't think Father Time is getting to Derrick Henry. I'm really not concerned about Derrick. This is kind of the way. I mean, he's been. If you look at his stats per game, yards, this is kind of typical Derrick Henry. Every month, guys, as it gets colder, Derrick Henry's impact is going to be more and more profound. Look, Derrick Henry is compound interest, guys. Just keep investing early. Keep going, because trust me, December when it gets cold, January when it gets cold, those numbers are going to go up. Just give him time. So I do agree Mitchell needs to be more involved. Not worried about Derrick Henry.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have slipped on a couple runs today, just
Mm-hmm.
losing his footing, I think he was on. I think that one he would have had a big gain like that. Yeah, it was a huge hole
Where
on
he
that
got the
right
one,
side.
like he got the first down anyway. Is that the one you're talking? But he was pissed
Yeah, and
because
he
yeah.
slipped, and nobody even touched him, and he slipped, and even his lead blocker was like through the hole, almost empty.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if he would have popped that one, then we might have been talking about a whole different game right here. I don't think the only time he seemingly gets like he's getting hit behind the line still far too often. Like it's just the offensive line still needs to come a long way, particularly on the inside and the right side. I mean that
Mm-hmm.
right side was tough to watch sometimes. I mean, I like Roger, but Roger would benefit from having a better right guard next to him in a big way, especially when it comes to picking up those stunts and stuff. The defenses are running against them. But yeah, I mean, they still have I'm not worried about Derrick Henry, but I am worried
Yeah.
about the offensive line ability to open up holes for him. Oops, and sorry, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that, Jimbo. I just wanted to put the moneymaker back up on the screen. That's all that was.
Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
That's all it was. Do we have any
Yeah.
other? Okay, no.
No. So let me ask you this question, Glenn. If
Yeah.
you big picture, like let's take a step back. We're now what 4-5.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything new, or do you feel have any of your opinions changed about the Ravens' likelihood to win the division and make a true run here? Or were you kind of just, this is a game we need to get, let's move on? Like, where are you? I like, as an example, as I mentioned, the defense for me did some things today that make me feel like they can be more of an impact in our team moving forward. They still have some issues, but they did, they added another brick to that wall that they need to build as far as the confidence that we should have in them. Is there anything that this team did for you to make you feel, a little bit better moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. Their run defense, no doubt. Because even beating Miami, I thought Achane early on had far too many holes to run through, and I thought he was playing well. It's just mistakes on their end, and game script took him out of the kind of formula or the calculation in the second half. They just couldn't even get him the ball. So I was like, I don't know if our run defense is really as good as we think it is, or if it was just game script and kind of self-inflicted wounds. But this game, it looked a lot better. I was very impressed with the way they were able to bottle up a talented running back room in Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. So that is a step in the right direction. Still have a lot of questions about our pass rush. But as far as on the offensive side of the ball, that was a really aggressive, talented defense that they did well enough. I mean, look, we didn't turn the ball over, didn't have huge negative plays. We had a few negative plays, certainly, because their tackle for losses. I don't know if I've seen a team with more tackles for loss when reviewing the stats heading into a game. So we knew it was going to happen occasionally, but the Ravens didn't get away from the run. They didn't scare themselves out of running the ball with Derrick Henry. They stuck with it, even though it wasn't terribly successful, stuck with the game plan. I love what Todd Monken did as far as using more play action. I think we should continue to put more play action into our offense. So, yeah, I mean, and then Tyler Loop, I thought was much better on special teams along with the cover unit. So I thought special teams looked every facet of the team gave me something to go, okay, that's nice to see. Now, again, there's still some holes and still some weaknesses on both sides, but oh my gosh, Jim, but don't look up now, but Seattle's already up 28-0 in the second quarter, still has 14 and a half minutes left.
Who are they playing right now?
Arizona, who just had a great win last week against the Cowboys. Like, those who wanted Mike McDonald, they're getting ammunition again. I mean, holy 27-0, Jimbo.
Jeez whiz. Yeah, but I think we still, to your point, I think we this is a huge win. I think we did some things. The special teams also, I felt like made an impact. I'm going to say something, and you can tell me, Glenn, straight up if this is blasphemous.
Okay.
Man, has Charlie Kohler been more of an impact player on offense this year than Isaiah Likely?
I mean, you could argue if you stack their numbers up, especially when you add his run blocking ability. I think that goes kind of overlooked a lot of times. But yeah, I mean, but I think Isaiah's time will come. I hope at least.
Yeah, Brad just wants to give him a bag. Here, go ahead, bro. He needs to earn it. I need to see some more out of Isaiah Likely these days.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I did see that The 7 false starts sets an NFL record, Jimbo. That certainly helped the Ravens defense. 8?
8. There was 8.
Oh my God. DK saying it was 8. Oh my God. That's insane. But look, the Ravens, the one part that does worry me, the Ravens by far won the turnover battle and by far won the penalty battle. And the Vikings still had a chance at the end to tie it. So that's a little worrisome there. Now, somebody else is saying 9 false starts. I don't know what to believe. It's somewhere between 7 and 9. But I will say, no matter how many it is, total penalties, they had 13 to our 5.
Yeah, that was rough.
Crazy.
Rough day at the office for the Vikings. Well, I'm excited for look, 3 road. What's up?
I was excited to see it. I love it.
100%. Glad it wasn't us this time.
I think my internet is being friendly.
Yeah, it is. But I just want to say 3 road wins in a row. No, it doesn't matter who you play in the NFL. That's a big deal. The Baltimore Ravens are going to be taking on the Browns next week. Let's see if we can end this, because then we're home against the Jets, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, and then Browns and Jets, yeah.
So let's see if we can end this road streak undefeated against the Browns. Hopefully they trot out Shedeur Sanders. I'm hoping for nothing more. But look, great win for the Baltimore Ravens. We'll be here to talk about it, of course, this week coming up. Moving forward, the run is on. The run is on, ladies and gentlemen. Hang with us. We'll be here to give you all the coverage that you need. But that's it for us, folks. Great win for the Ravens, and we'll talk to you guys soon. See you.